as a leading traditional content creator, traditional television producer, you're not a known quantity when you move over into the interactive world. There's no guarantee that your previous success creating television projects is going to translate into success in the interactive world. There's a very different skill set that's needed and a very different knowledge base that's needed to create that content. Having experience as a traditional TV producer is definitely an asset, but it's not all that you need in order to have a successful product. Well, there's a lot of companies in Ontario. It's actually one of the things that we excel at here in this province. Decode Entertainment has a very strong interactive department. They've created fabulous products. Zenifel Media is another company. Breakthrough Films and Television. Shaftesbury is another company that's actually making huge strides in creating interactive content. These companies are experimenting in a really new space and seeing success in doing that. It really depends on the strategy that the company wants to take. And I think both are very, very valid approaches. Some companies do the production in-house, some outsource. When you're outsourcing, I think you have to look at that more as a partnership. And if you're going to create an interactive piece, if it's connected to a more traditional piece of media, a television show, for example, you need to integrate the interactive into the process of production. It needs to be part of the TV production process. They need to go on in tandem. They need to mirror one another so that you can take advantage of efficiencies and also ensure that both products are the best that they can possibly be. Absolutely, you have to start thinking about that stuff at the beginning. And if you are going to do that, you really should, if your expertise is not in interactive project, access that expertise somewhere. Outsource or bring someone in-house to assist you with that, because there are specific things that you can do in an interactive property that a traditional television producer may not consider or may not be aware of, and it can really enhance the experience of their viewer and their audience. I don't know if that's necessarily true. I don't think the skill sets are mutually exclusive, but I think that if your experience is not in the interactive space, acknowledge it and find access to the help that you need in order to strengthen your interactive product. But I don't think that as a film producer or as a TV producer, it necessarily means that you can't also look at things from an interactive perspective as well. I think you can build that in and build that skill set, but I think that if you don't have it, try to find the assistance and try to work with a company that does. That will make a world of difference, absolutely. I think it's a good time for people who are traditional media producers, and I also think it's a great time for people who are actually interactive producers who are creating interactive content. There's a lot of opportunity out there, and there's a lot of audiences that are interested in exploring new kinds of content. I think there already are more sources of financing. I know that some of our programs have received increases in their budgets. We're very interested in all of our industries taking advantage of digital capabilities, and the programs that we offer, all of them have had a digital enhancement to allow for more traditional content creators to take advantages in the digital space. So we're trying to facilitate that where we can, because we see that people are interested in that, and companies are very interested in exploring those opportunities. So where possible, we're trying to make it make those kind of explorations possible for our client groups. We've seen a wide variety of applications from very different kinds of companies. So we do get applications from very experienced companies who are established in the space, and those companies are successful with their applications in some situations. We also get applications from emerging companies, startup companies, in some cases companies that have emerged out of other companies. So somebody may be working for an interactive company and decide they want to do their own thing, and they leave and start up their own company. So we've supported those kind of companies in addition to supporting established companies. It's been a very equal distribution across the applications that have been successful. I'd say probably a 50-50 split, which is great. It's nice to be able to take chances with the funds. It's nice to be able to take some risks and also to be able to see some rewards. And we have been lucky enough to be able to take risks in our funds. We've been lucky enough to be able to take risks with our programs and see some really, really great successes come out of some of those risks. So that's been a very rewarding and very satisfying thing for me. Well, our funds are actually specifically targeted to companies that have in-house expertise in interactive content. And some of that has to do with the fact that there's a limited amount of funding available. So we have set a minimum threshold for companies to qualify to come in. So there is a requirement that they have a background and some experience creating interactive content. It's hard to answer your question for that reason, because at this point in time, the fund that I operate is targeted at companies with interactive experience. So that's generally where we see the applications come from. That being said, they can be new and startup companies or emerging companies, but the people who are running those companies need to have experience creating interactive content. And that sort of stems back to the idea that interactive content creators require a specific skill set and knowledge base. And fundamental knowledge base needs to be in place before we're in a position to fund the products. All of our funds have specific evaluation criteria that are broken down across a 100-point scale. We look at a lot of different things. We look at the track record of the company. As an Ontario government agency, we're very interested in seeing projects that have a positive impact on the Ontario economy. That's one of the things that we look at. We look at a product's commercial potential. Will it be successful critically? Will it attract an audience? Will it make money? We look at the feasibility of the project as well, in addition to looking at the creative strength. Is it unique? Is it different? Does it fill a gap that isn't being addressed? Is it going to be creatively strong? Will it be received strongly by its audience? Will it receive critical acclaim? Obviously, we want to support projects that are successful. And in some cases, audience size can be a measure of success, but from our perspective, it isn't the only measure of success. So it's one of the things that we take into account in evaluating the projects, but it isn't the only thing that we look at.